It was just stripe after stripe getting banned. And I even went to some of my friends and used some of my friends' stripes, and everyone's stripes kept getting banned.
Basically, tell me, where were you? What kind of situation were you in initially before we started working together?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Preston McHugh. I'm 18 and currently live in Las Vegas. And before I found Khaaz and electronic commerce, I processed a lot through Stripe and PayPal. The first issue was PayPal. Whenever I processed 10 grand in a little under 3 days, and they permanently blacklisted me from PayPal, so I can never open a PayPal account again. And the next was with Stripe. So with Stripe, you get a max of about 4 accounts being banned before you get permanently banned, like to where your name and social security number is banned. So the first account, I processed a little under 100K, and they completely banned me, and my money's still being locked. And the second account, I processed, I think it was like 20K, and it was just stripe after stripe getting banned. And I even went to some of my friends and used some of my friends' stripes, and everyone's stripes kept getting banned. And I got introduced to Khaaz and electronic commerce. So my first initial introduction with electronic commerce was not great, because I allowed a friend to use my electronic commerce account. But luckily, electronic commerce being more of a concierge service, they were able to work with me, and they understood that happened, and we were able to move past that. And now I have several open accounts with electronic commerce, and they all run smoothly, very low chargeback percentage, very secure payments, next day funding, anything that you could want in a payment processor is in electronic commerce.
I think I understand. So with what happened, if I'm correct, as I understand it, so, this other guy, other friend, former friend or whatever, or a person who portrayed himself as a friend, you were trying to help them out. And some people would help you out with the Stripe account or whatever. And he basically took advantage of it. Right. And did some things that were like just way, 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 way above, way underground or past the board or whatever. Things that just weren't ethical from a payment processing perspective, and just unethical period, to the point where clients weren't happy with what they were getting.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, since I guess your name was on the dotted line, you were held sort of left holding the bag, or you were responsible for whatever
I was responsible
happened.
for his actions.
Okay. And then that's what kind of like made it not so much of a good experience, if I'm correct.
Right.
Okay. And I guess if it had been, let's say, a Stripe, a Square, a PayPal, or a bank, or one of those kind of institutions, it would have just been shut down. That's it.
Yeah, it would have been shut down. It would have been a much worse experience.
Okay. And so electronic commerce in our back office, you guys worked together. We worked it out, and now we're back. We're back smooth sailing again.
Back in good standing.
Okay, good. Because so I guess the whole point is, like, if when something like that happens, and that's like the lifeblood of your business, is like, what can you do, right?
Yeah, you can't do anything. You're out of processing.
Okay.
You can't merge and process anymore.
Okay. So now that we have that fixed, have you been receiving has there been anything to, I guess, sort of help prevent, issues? Have you been getting that kind of assistance, where maybe like to do an account audit and say, hey, well, do this, do that, or make suggestions that are helping you out?
Absolutely. Okay. Electronic commerce is super helpful with that.
Okay. Are you having like any issues with getting in contact with, let's say operations, underwriting risks, or prompt responses?
Not. As soon as you pick up the phone,
mm-hmm.
as long as it's in that hour that the support's on there,
mm-hmm.
always picked up.
Okay. And I'm not coaching him to say this, because
this is 100% honest.
Yeah.
This is just from my experiences.
Mm-hmm. And I wasn't even familiar with all the different incidents, because I'm not necessarily working in operations on a day-to-day, kind of the bigger picture, like overseeing different things and seeing like what's happening and being actually told what's happening. So I'm not coaching him, but I'm super glad that it absolutely worked out. And this is probably this is our first day actually meeting.
This is our first day actually meeting.
Yeah, so I had no freaking idea of all of like the different particulars. I know the person that he's referring to. And it could suck, you know. That's like Walmart just being out of business, or any business. Like if you can't make money, how can you be in business?
Exactly.
So, you know, when you don't have, there's not like 18 years old to be doing, you said 18, right?
Yeah.
To be doing what you're doing, that's freaking awesome, right? That can really discourage a lot of people though.
It can.
Like it could discourage, especially 18 or 28 or 38 or 40, it would discourage you if something like that happens and you can't move forward. It could be super discouraging. So for you, man, to be able to bounce back from that and to handle it in a mature way, I think that's a plus as well.
I wouldn't have been able to do that without electronic commerce.
Okay.
You guys really helped that out because it's a concierge based, and I was able to talk with Darnell.
Okay.
And kind of work out the situation after I essentially talked to him on the phone and about what happened.
Okay.
He was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, we're not opposed to doing business with you anymore. And we were able to work it out. And now we're back on the pace.
See, that's good, man, because I know there's some super big companies out there, and you can't really get a hold of the underwriter or the risk person of operations. Or even if you do, they don't know the difference between a DBA and a legal business name. It's just like so much like basic, some things common sense, you know, you would think common sense, but obviously not. And things are made much more complicated, but because of a person like Darnell, who totally is like a freaking guru on the operations side in particular, he can, you know, that personal relationship, I think, in my opinion, that's what really serves as, that helps remedy situations like the one that you experienced.
Exactly.
Because if you're just relying on email or text, like, you know, you don't know the person, you know, you don't know us, we don't know
people in the Philippines or anything like that. Especially with these big merchant processors, a lot of them are outsourcing all of their work, and you don't know who you're talking to.
Right. And you think sometimes maybe there's like a communication barrier where they don't really even understand what the business really does. They just kind of like lump it all as Ecom, like everything is the same. You think that happens a lot too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It happens all the time.
Okay. So yeah, so I'm glad, man. So that's what our focus is to really have a concierge type of service, just like you said, where, you know, Darnell or somebody else in the back office. And we choose Darnell because he's just like so freaking good at it, man. And I'm glad, man. I'm glad that he's able to help you out. Well, I'm glad we could help. And if you need help, make sure you message us. There will be a link somewhere in here. Maybe it may be here now. I don't know. Once we edit it or whatever, we'll put it in there. But there'll be a way to contact us as well. So Preston, thanks a lot, man.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on here.
Appreciate you, man.